What's going on? This is Travis Witherspoon from Carter Cal Capital, helping you fight for your financial freedom throughout the towards market. This is another episode of Trade with Travis. This is a non-farm payroll edition of it, a Friday edition. It is July 8th, one day before my mom's birthday. Want to make sure I end up saying happy birthday, Mom. If she ends up watching this video, I'm pretty sure she's not, but I wanted to make sure I end up getting it out there. Let's go ahead and go through it because there's a lot of stuff that's happening in the market right now. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or to sell. What I'm going to do is teach you education. And from the education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. Understand that forex trading involves risk. It involves risk of being able to make money. It also involves risk of being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind and understand that past performance is not indicative of future results, which means that if you want to be able to if you make money yesterday, it's not promised that you can end up making money today. So with that being said, as we go through and be able to take a look at these overall pairs, I want to jump right into what's happening with Nas 100. Got placed inside of a sale with my automation system. And I want to be able to talk about what's going on with that overall trade. Why I am going to be very quick to the trigger of saying that if I need to get out, then I am, and being able to go from there. But take a look at it from a weekly perspective. The market has been bearish. The market has been pushing down to the downside. It's expected to go all the way down to 91.82. Currently, right now, the market has been going through its overall wave and has been going inside of a lot of pockets in which we've been talking about different areas like being able to get out of 11,960, which was one of those pocket areas to be able to get out of before. The daily is in the sell zone. It's basically look like it's making a double top. If the market continues to move in the way that it's doing, it may end up falling down to the downside very quickly when it comes down to overall movement today. But what I'm seeing is that the market is actually holding a little bit of support. Like I said, I end up getting into this trade a little bit earlier today. I am not necessarily interested in being able to stay in this trade if it goes back inside this consolidation, because that means that it will be consolidation. My system placed me in at 11,968 currently right now. I am currently down. I'm down a few, like $150 based off this move currently right now. Two things that I do like about this position, though. If it does continue to fall, we got 5 minutes before the market actually opens. We end up placing out a post a little bit earlier on my trading view page where I end up talking about we were trying to figure out what was going to end up happening when it came down to the overall move. The market went into consolidation. It will end up going inside of that current pocket. If you end up trading up to 11,960, then you end up making money off of that movement. Currently, right now, it's in that consolidation pocket that we end up talking about before, and it is resisting from that consolidation pocket. Now, because the daily is in the sell zone, this gives us an opportunity to see that this market may end up falling inside of this small pocket first before being able to truly make a move over to the downside where it could fall all the way down to 11,650 before being able to make a true move in any direction. Now, how did I get 11,650? Well, you take a look at the volume profile and you end up taking a look at the market, and we just zoom out and give us a little bit more room to be able to work with. The market ended up falling from this high volume node and that consolidation. The next nearest high volume node is right here when it comes down to that movement. That's 11,800. 11,800, 11,850 are two positions where support one is for the actual day, and actually will run back inside these pocket areas that we've seen where the market has moved previously when it comes down to this overall area. So if the market remains to be bearish and it stays within or stays below this overall low, then all we're doing is just running back inside of this area, and it could create another larger pocket. Now, what I've been noticing is that when the market has been moving to the downside, it has been moving pretty much very rapidly to the downside when it comes down to movement, and gradually it has been moving slow to the upside because the market is still, in my humble opinion, overall bearish. So currently right now, that's the gap that we have to be able to fill. I think that if the market remains to be where it is, I would look at being able to make a sell trade based off of that movement and see this market basically fall down. Now, I'm going to show you based off of my actual system so everyone can be able to see what I'm talking about when it comes down to pockets. We can see that we're right on the ledge of this high volume pocket. As the market continues to fall down from this overall area, then it can go down lower and at least get you about 70-something points before actually being able to make a decision. That'll be at 11,912. Now, if it does break this area, then I would look at being able to place any type of pending sale right around 11,875. I would look to be able to target 11,660, which was that second running area where the market ended up having this big movement to the upside. That'll be the second portion of this pocket that I will look at being able to get at. But I would not consider taking that trade until two things end up happening. Either the market breaks below 11,870 or the market ends up breaking below. If you want to be a little bit more comfortable, the market breaking past 11,785 for the market basically to fall down in that overall position. Currently, right now, it is following that support. It's following at a daily pivot. If it breaks below that daily pivot right when the market ends up opening up, then I think I have a good idea about what's happening for the overall move. We're a minute before the market is going to end up making a decision on what's going to end up happening. I'm going to be very quick on this. If this market pushes up to 1,200, then that means that I'm out. I'll wait until the market basically gives me a better position to be able to get in. So if it closes above 12,000 off of a 15-minute timer, matter of fact, I'm going to do it based off of a 5, because if it falls down based off of a 5, then that means it can run back all the way back up here to 12,043. I would get out, and then after that, I'll wait to see if the market's going to end up actually making a move. Currently, right now, this is the pocket that we're in, or the open pocket area that we could possibly be able to see this market basically move. It is 9:29 at this particular point. This is the only trade that I'm in currently at this point. I got out of I got out of US 30, ended up making money off of that movement a little bit earlier today. So this is current right now. This is literally going off of the rejection point, or right before the market started to be able to go inside of this consolidation area based off of previous days. Currently, the market's at 11,994. Obviously, because the market just opened, we're going from there. The market has broke above 12,000. I'm going to see if it's going to hold. If it holds above 12,000, then that means that I'm out. I just wait to see this market basically come back and give me another chance to be able to get in. Obviously, because the market just opened up, we want to see how the market kind of reacts and move before being able to make a strong decision. But it seems like the buyers are trying to make a move off of that, at least early. So couple things working for us. One, if you look at it, the weekly is in the sell zone. The weekly is in the sell zone. Moving averages is actually above the sell zone as well, and we're inside of this pocket. Remember, when you're looking at low volume nodes, you're looking at pocket trading, you're looking at being able to take care or take advantage of these holes right there. If you notice, the market has started to free fall from 11,000, basically 12,000, all the way down to 11,068. For some reason, it triggered in some more sales. That is okay. That's my system. Let's see. Yeah, and I literally just got a message from one of my friends, literally talking about that it just doubled up on sales. It just literally just talked about that. Let's see. My exit the other ones. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so currently right now, this is the only market that I'm currently in. I'm in on XPX 500, but I'm not necessarily worried about XPX 500. Actually, no, I'm not. Or yes, I am. But that moves a little bit slow. US 30 has been proven to fall. Is proven to fall to the downside right now, but I'm seeing that Nas has made his move up to 1210. It's made a decision on what's going to end up being the overall movement. I am out when it comes down to those moves. I'm going to go ahead and take out those trades and go ahead and take that loss. That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. But we'll come back and see if that market kind of makes a movement a little bit later on before being able to do it. If it falls back inside of that pocket, then I'll be interested in being able to get back in. But I got to be able to see if this market is truly going to end up falling down in this area before being able to make a move on it again. It just seems like that's a little bit too fast for it to be inside of a consolidation area to actually be able to pop. Actually be able to fall based off the first move. That's just me personally, just taking a look at this move. Once again, I got in at 11,686, so I didn't like the overall position starting out. Maybe I might be able to get back in a little bit later on, but currently right now, I am going to end up waiting to see how this market is going to end up reacting first. based off of this next 5 minutes before being given to get back in. If it gives me a full counter trend line break and a movement to the downside, then we may have something to be able to work off of. But currently, right now, I'm actually a little bit more. I think that the market probably might have a little bit more push to the upside than to the downside, at least for right now. While that is making this move and going from there, I actually end up taking a loss on that one. So we'll wait and see how that market's going to end up reacting before being able to make another move. But we do know that this pocket area, the natural support area, has been right around 11,960. So if it breaks below 11,960, truly, then the market will end up being bearish. And then after that, you can be able to look at being able to make some type of moves towards it falling. Currently, right now, what I'm going to do is just wait and see if there's a counter trend line break that actually ends up happening from here before being able to make another decision on this move. So I'm going to keep this as an alert. And then after that, we'll take a look at the other trades while we are going through that. Let's see. That would be Nas 100 counter trend line sale. Okay, so I'm going to wait on that one when it comes down to that movement. We don't have a counter trend line break as of yet. The market is pushing up. Like I said, I was going to be very quick when it came down to that decision because this market is in a position to where it could possibly be able to consolidate again for the rest of today. And I don't want to sit up there and waste any money or waste any winnings, what I end up doing all week based off of those positions. All right, so let's take a look at what's happening with XBX 500. XBX 500 yesterday, what we ended up talking about was the market going to end up filling this overall pocket that was inside of this area? Market ended up going sideways, just like what it ended up doing before from there. It ended up going sideways, then after that, pushing back up to the upside, which was here. So sideways, big movement. Currently, right now, we're back in that sideways movement. The market is holding support when it comes down to this overall area. So as long as it's holding support and it's inside of that overall area, I'm not interested in being able to make any type of movement when it comes down to this trade as of yet as well. First pocket to be able to take a look at if this market does break to the downside will be at 38.80 all the way down to 38.60. That will be the first movement that I will look at being able to take a trade off of if you're interested in being able to trade inside of this pocket area right here. If it does break below and it keeps on moving to the downside, then I'll look at placing in another entry at 38.50 all the way down to the point of control, or at least before the point of control at 38.30. That will be the two positions where I will look at being able to take trades at when it comes down to XBX 500. Now, keep in mind, today's Friday. Typically, you may end up getting a large movement or a large consolidation, but this is the pocket area that will end up needing to be filled if the market does move to the downside. Now, if it moves up to the upside and breaks the overall high, then it can be able to go back up to this previous consolidation area that we end up looking at right here. Okay, so that's where we are when it comes down to those trades. Going to end up staying away until the market breaks out of consolidation. That's the main rule when it comes down to this strategy. We don't trade in consolidation. We wait for the market to be able to go in the breakout and pocket areas, and then after that, trade when the market's inside of the pocket areas. You get way more bang for your buck, and you get way more ease when it comes down to trading inside of those areas. Especially after the market is been in consolidation. Type in a Y or a yes if that makes sense. Let's take a look at German. Let's go to US 30 real quick. Let's talk about what's been happening with US 30. US 30 may give everybody an opportunity to be able to sell briefly, but once again, it's inside of a pocket area, so we're going to end up talking about that. Let's see. So currently, right now, what is happening is this. Market daily is in the sell zone. We've seen the market basically end up making movements to the downside when it came down to that. Sideways, big movement, sideways, big movement. Currently, right now, we're just going through that phase again. We're going through that sideways movement as we're looking at it currently right here. Now, I ended up placing in a sale at 31,430, which was at the previous support, current past support, current future resistance level earlier yesterday before the market actually ended up closing. Was able to make a few dollars off of that movement, and then after that, ended up taking in some more sales right around the 31,380 area before the market actually ended up falling down and hitting support down to right here. Now, currently, right now, because the market is in that support area, there's no trades to be able to take. I would say if you're going to place in any type of order, that order will be on the outside of this consolidation. I would go even below all these lows. I would say anything right around 11,260 will be a great area to see, to be able to have this market be able to go through that consolidation and actually be able to break out. If you're interested in being able to look at being able to sell, um, um, if you want to be a little bit more earlier and it'll be a little bit more aggressive, you could go right around 30, about 31,305. But I'm not interested in being able to do that either. I would say anywhere around 31,270, 31,268, somewhere around there. That is where the overall lows were. If it goes below 31,260, then it's in a very good area for the market to be able to fall. If it's going to fall, it'll fall back inside of this low pocket area, um, which is right, which is right here. Um, and being able to see if the market does make a movement inside of that spot. Currently, right now, I am. Let's see. Currently, right now, today end up doing 300, 330. Let's see. Currently, right now, today have done. End up having a few losses at the beginning of today when it came down to that movement because the market was in consolidation. I was trying to catch it. End up finally catching it on this move right here. End up doing about $500 when it came down to that move, and then after that, end up doing another 200 to cover up what we end up doing from that movement overall. So just waiting to see how this market is going to react. Obviously, everything is trending. Everything is showing that the trend is bullish. So that means that trying to get into a sale right now is not necessarily going with the trend. So I would be, like I said, I'm going to be a little bit more patient on this downside movement. If downside movement does happen, then it could fall, but I'm not necessarily interested in being able to go like all in on this movement. This would be a 1% move for today because the market is going in consolidation. Um, Now it's 100. Some push all the way back up to the previous point of control. Has resisted off of that overall level. Like I said, I will be interested in being able to take a sale now. We can be able to adjust this overall points. Let's see, we can finally call this a true level of consolidation because now we have two supports right here and right here. That's at 11,960. If this market continues to push up, I do expect that it will push up right around 12,128. If the market does go up towards that level. On NAS, if the market keeps on pushing up towards that level, then there's a pocket all the way up to 12,260 that you can be able to take advantage of when it comes down to that movement. So let's talk about that from a 15-minute perspective. So, so if the market ends up breaking out of this level, it could go all the way back up here to the 12th. I got 12,250. So let me go to the hour, give a little bit more information. 12,250 is right here. This little medium volume node that's right there. That's where you'll probably end up seeing the first small consolidation. If you notice, we go back to what ended up happening previously. There goes your small consolidation right there, matched up with that small consolidation right there. That's the first level where the take profit will be for 12,250. If it breaks out of that level, then after that, it's going to go and basically attract these highs again from when the market first fell, and that'll be at 12,461. If the market continues to break out where it is, I would say look at getting in right around 12,120. Once it ends up breaking out at 12,120, then I would go and try to take profit right around 12,250. From 12,250, if it breaks again, look at being able to take profit at 12,470. That will end up being your pockets for the upside movement if the market does happen right there. Okay, so there we go when it comes down to that. I know I'm being very fast and and everything else like that when it comes down to these ideas. But market has been moving pretty fast, and typically I like being able to talk about it early so everybody can at least be able to have an opportunity to be able to trade it. Last one, my FX striker system actually ended up catching DAX or German 40. It ended up catching it to the upside. I have not worked on DAX in a while. Let's see, at least not from a pocket perspective. Matter of fact, let me just show you on this chart. So currently, right now, market end up making basically like a head and shoulders pattern, or small head and shoulders pattern to the upside. It's broken the neckline. It's starting to move up. It's inside of this pocket area where the market has kind of brushed up, and I do expect that it will fulfill that overall gap at 12,987, which it already did. Now, it struggled right here, which is basically the start of a high volume node. That high volume node is showing that consolidation right there when it comes down to what's happening in the inside. Currently, right now, if I'm doing anything when it comes down to DAX, um, if I'm not in the trade right now, I would not look at being able to get into the trade, at least until the market kind of gives me a little bit more of a movement, um, to be able to be a little bit more careful off of. Let me show that overall box area real quick. So there goes your consolidation. Let me change the color. Properties. So that's the consolidation that it's running up to. It's basically going to hit the past support turn future resistance inside of that area. Um, Support 2 or resistance 2 at this point is at 13,057, and resistance 3 is at 13,253. Going and taking a look at it based off of what I'm looking at today, um, this market may struggle to be able to uh, fully be able to get up to that point, but I think that it could get up to resistance 2. Um, It'll probably end up having a little bit of struggle to be able to break out of the 13,000 area, but if it does, then I think it could run up a little bit more. Currently up $330 based off this movement. I would probably, if the market rejects off of this area too much, then I'm probably going to look at taking profit and then waiting for the market to truly prove that it can break inside of this area. Now, my stop loss on both of these are at break even, so that means that if it falls, then I won't lose anything. But I do want to leave out of here with some cash to be able to make up for the loss that I ended up having off of Nas earlier today. So if it continues to reject off of resistance 1 at 12,950, then I won't do anything with it. If you'd like to be able to know about what I do about the automation systems, this FX Striker is um, a multi entry system type of deal. Essentially, what it does is that it trades the right way inside of every market, meaning that when a market is trending, it will only take trending trades. If the market is in consolidation, it will create a consolidation box and will basically end up. Let me see if I can pull it up. It will not do any trending trades inside of consolidation. What it will end up doing is that it will look at trading the breakouts of those overall movements, or the hedging of that overall movement, in which it's in a hedge on this trade right now. So until it ends up breaking out at one of those levels, then obviously the market will end up being break even until it truly breaks out of that overall level. Now, obviously, the strategy that I have been talking about is the Vortex trading system that I have been talking about a little bit earlier. I've been talking about it for the last 3 weeks. Done brought in a lot of profits. Done allowed us to be able to exploit this market because we know that in June, July, August, September, right before October, the market is a little bit slower for us being able to make that move. I'm going to go ahead and take profit on this and get this out the way. But essentially, that's what the system does. It basically ends up looking at what's happening with the market. It ends up trading the correct way that the market is actually given. So DAX, I'm out of that trade as well. We can see that there's a strong rejection off of XPX 500 right now. Let's go back to Nas and let's see what's happening with that. Maybe Nas might be falling down to the downside, and we might end up having an opportunity. There goes the there goes the rejection off of the. That is the rejection off of the point of control, or the point of control of this overall day. To me, that is more of a retracement. Um, that's a breakout. There goes your retest right there. If the market does break below 11,960, then I say that I would be interested in being able to sell that. But currently, right now, I'm gonna let this pocket prove to be consolidation. If it is consolidation, then we don't trade inside of consolidation. So that is what I'm focusing on right now. If it does break below, then I'll be interested in being able to sell it. But currently, right now, um, there is nothing to truly do at this particular point in time. If there's nobody that has a pair that they would like for me to be able to take a look at, analyze, and be able to help them out, then what I'm going to end up doing is bidding y'all to do. Happy Friday for everyone that has been trading. This has been a very good week for everyone. Let's see. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening. Let's see. This market going to break this 11,997. Let's see. See an evening star formation being formed at this particular point. We're on the 5 minutes, so it hasn't closed and stayed below, but I do like the evening star. Typically, what happens based off of this movement, we end up seeing a retest of this overall area. There's the break of the counter trend line break, but it has not held yet. Remember, if this breaks and it stays where it's at this particular point, if I'd have done got out of this position, which sucks, but I would pay attention to it a little bit more. If it breaks below 11,960, then I am going to end up pulling the trigger. I'm going to end up looking at being able to get out. Let's see. I'm going to look at being able to get out at two positions. We end up talking about those a little bit earlier. The first one would end up being right here, 11,914. If it breaks below that, then after that we'll go back at the beginning of where the pocket actually ended up starting at 11,842. If it breaks below that and it keeps on falling from that standpoint, it can go all the way down to 11,650. It could go all the way down to 11,650 for its overall movement if it remains to be below this. So here it is. Okay, I've entered. Let's see if it holds below this counter trend line break and this overall area from here. Let's see. Remember, typically when there's a breakout, then that's going to end up being a retest in this overall area. We have the breakout. We have a candlestick formation. The market ended up rejecting off the point of control, which means that that's another good thing to be able to look at for its downside movement. Market was slightly in consolidation. It was in a smaller consolidation right here before actually falling. So it rejected off of that consolidation, then started to be able to move. Does that match up with the previous movement that we ended up seeing before? No, not necessarily. Let's see. Got 2 more minutes to be truly 2 more minutes for it to truly be able to break this counter trend line break. Let's see if the sellers remain to be in control on this movement. Boys are good. They're over at daycare now. That allowed me to be able to work a little bit. But really and truthfully, I got all my work done last night. I'm just trying to see if I can be able to make some more profit today, based off of this. I haven't had a bad day this week. Matter of fact, I haven't had a losing day this week, which is good. Um, Knock on wood that we don't give up any more money today. Um, but I'm in on Nas 100 right now. I was able to get in at um, 992, 994, 982, 979, 977. And currently, right now, if the market breaks and stays below 960, then I might get into 960. Oh man, they have some good tips. Uh, I give you a funny story. My youngest son actually was playing on my computer a couple days ago, and he ended up hitting. You know how you have one-click trading on MetaTrader 5? He ended up hitting the sell button on it by accident because I had my mouse somewhat close to it. Um, and when he ended up hitting it, I was like, okay, well, man, I got to hurry up and get out of this trade. Um, the lot size, it was fairly low, but he ended up getting into it without me being able to pay attention to it, and ended up making about 30 something dollars. So I gave him $30 as a reward to be able to do that. But I guess he's getting everybody tips and tricks and help and everything else like that. So let me see this part. Got a few more minutes. I mean, got a few seconds. Market has closed below. So evening star is still. I knew he was a born trader. I hope so, man. I hope so because I definitely don't want them to have a 9 to 5 job. Been working to ensure that they're going to end up doing that. Everybody, give me 1 second. I'm going to go on mute. All right, so here we go. Only trade that I'm in today. I've already done took profit on DAX. Already done took profit on US 30. Looking at Nas right now, it's still in this position to where it's legitimately at the support of consolidation. I've gotten into a few trades trying to make up a little bit of money that I end up losing earlier. This market breaks above this counter trend line break, then I will not. Then I exit out and I'll be done for today. If it breaks above this overall area, then I'll be out and I get out for today. And I won't look at being able to trade it until the market proves itself that it's ready to be able to fall. Currently, right now, market's at 11,865. It is holding that support from this overall zone, this high volume node that you're looking at, or this somewhat of a high volume node that you're looking at right here. That's the reason why you see all the consolidation. I'm going to be, let's see. I've already done took one loss on this today. I don't want to sit up there and make it another one. Um, There goes your retest again. If it breaks above, then I'm out, and then after that, well, I just be done for today. Let's see. 15 minutes in the buy zone. Don't like that. Hourly should be in the sell zone. No, hourly is in the buy zone. Go figure. 2 hour is in the buy zone. I don't know. I don't like what I'm looking at. I think I'm looking at consolidation. Let me get everybody's thoughts. So people are online. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're seeing. If you're looking at this based off of what you're saying, do you believe that the market is in consolidation, or do you believe that the market um, is about to break out to the downside? Keep in mind the daily's in the sell zone. Do you believe that this is a start of consolidation, or do you believe that the market's going to end up falling? I want to get everybody's opinion on this one. Daily, we're clearly in the sell zone. We look like we have a double top. That's right here. New candle just opened up from the 10 o'clock hour. It opened up at 11,975. So that could be a good thing. Go back to the 15 minute. Market held below. We go. If it breaks inside of this pocket, it could run. For the scalpers, scalper move would be 922. If you're just looking at being able to scalp this, it'll be down to 922. It's not holding. It's not breaking past support. This one is going to end up being one of those patient games. So what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to let everybody go. I will say this: if you are in this trade, let's say you end up taking a sale before this market end up breaking past 11,980. If it goes above 12,000, if it goes above 12,000, then I would say look at being able to just go ahead and exit the trade. Wait for the market to be able to actually fully break that level, place in a sell stop inside of that area. Know that if it breaks above 120, then I will look at being able to get out as well. Currently, right now. Market is holding support, and I'm seeing a lot of wicks down here at the bottom. That means to me that buyers are treating this seriously as an area of natural support. So I may end up getting out just for the sake of being able to save the account and basically have a win for today. But like always, hope everybody is well. Hope everybody has a great trading day. I'll see y'all later on. Like always, plan your trade, trade your play, trade that. Plan your trade your plan. Everyone, I'll see y'all